Hello everyone, how are you doing today? I am going to tell a story about baseball that is the one sport that I didn't play. So to my baseball fanatics out there, I'm sure you'll be able to correct me a little bit. How's it going, Daryl? So what I want you to imagine right now is that you are a manager of a professional baseball team, and you have to draft the baseball players for your team, right? And you want to use your money the best you can. You know, God knows how much money these professional teams have to draft players. I'm sure somebody out there could tell me, but let's just imagine, you know, obviously you've got millions of dollars to spend and you want to get the best players for your team, right? And I want you to think about, who are you going to draft? You know, who is it that you're going to go after? What kind of characteristics are you looking for in that baseball player that you would want to draft for your team? And I want you to think about that for a little bit. What is it that you're looking for in that player that you want to see? What characteristics do they have that you want, that you think is going to take your team to the next level? Now basically, you've got your player in your head. You don't want to throw another thing out there. So let's just say there's this player out there that is just crushing it. He's hitting home runs all over the place, right? And a lot of teams are going after this guy, right? And you could get him, but it's going to take you pretty much your entire budget to get this guy, right? Are you going to get him? Are you going to go ahead and invest your money? Let's say this guy is guaranteed a home run, you know, at least once out of every 5 ups at bat, right? Now, a home run once out of every 5 ups at bat, really, I think that's pretty good, you know. He may be getting on base a little bit more than that, but he's guaranteed a home run once out of every 5 times at bat. So are you going to spend the majority of your budget out there? Now let's also imagine that there's 5 guys out there that you could get for the same amount of money, and these guys are pretty much guaranteed to get a single on base, right? Pretty much every time they're up, they're going to get on base. You could get them for the same amount of money. Which one are you going to get? You're going to get the guys hitting the singles, or you're going to get this guy hitting home runs? When you compare the two, you know, again, I'm not the baseball pro here, so obviously people can correct me, but they sound similar, right? You've got you know, one guy that every 5 times at bat is going to hit a home run, and then you've got 5 guys that are going to hit singles pretty much every time. So you got a guy, you know, first, second, third, fourth, you know, then your first, second, third, then the guy's hitting them in, you know, and so forth. So, again, somewhat similar. Here's the thing, is if you play these 2 teams together, the guys hitting the singles are going to win every time, hands down. And the reason is because you got 5 guys that are hitting singles. They're up every time. The guy that's hitting a home run, he's hitting a home run, but he's only hitting it once every 5 times. And my point of telling this story is because it really has a lot to do with what I do, which is trading and the opportunity that I go over. So a lot of guys, if I spent a short period of time, let's say you know nothing about trading whatsoever at all, right? It's not the hardest, it's not rocket science, right? The price is going to go up, or it's going to go down, or it's going to go sideways, and that's pretty much it. Kent, how you doing? So if I spent a short period of time kind of explaining support and resistance and other things, I bet you within a handful of trades, you could on your own place a trade and make 5 or 10 pips off that trade. I'm not reaching too far here to say that. Now, here's the other thing though. What if you knew that the more you learned about trading, the better you're going to get, and the more consistent you're going to get about getting those 5 or 10 pips, right? So it's going to get easier. You're most likely going to even get more in bigger trades and so forth, right? But then I explained to you that, if you just get those 5 or 10 pips every single day, that's it. That's all you need. 5, 10 pips every day. That in a matter of 2 years, if you started with a $5,000 account, you'll be a millionaire. You're going to be thinking, well, that's crazy. You literally just showed me in like less than an hour, I placed a trade by myself and made 5 or 10 pips. You're telling me if I do this every day, I'm only going to get better at it, that in a couple years, I'm going to be a millionaire. That's insane. Why isn't everybody a millionaire? There must be something you're not telling me, so forth. It doesn't make sense. And here's the thing, is it's 100% the truth, and yet it still evades 99% of the traders out there. There are a lot of traders out there trading the Forex right now that are well aware of what I'm saying right now, and yet it still evades them. And the reason is because instead of going for the singles, right, they're going for the home runs, right? So when you were thinking about that baseball player that I was talking to you about, what characteristics did you want? What were you imagining? Was the first thing popping in your head home runs? Yeah, guys crushing it out of the park. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the guy crushing it out of the park. Did anybody think about, just someone that's consistent? I just want a consistent player on my team. I would doubt there were too many of us out there that ever thought about a consistent player, because that's just not how we're wired. We're all wired for hitting it out of the park. That's it. That's where we get our joy. That's where we get our fun. That's what we're going for. We just want to crank it, right? And so my thing is also, success, making changes in your life, getting to that next level. A lot of us think that I have to, in order to get to that next level, I'm not going to get there until I hit a home run, until this big event occurs and I do this, and that's what's going to be the big change. You're not thinking that it's just taking that first step forward, making those little changes, and then consistently doing it every day, day after day after day after day after day. Success is in the little mundane tasks, and it evades 99% of us. But there's nothing magical about it. There's nothing crazy about it. It's just consistency. It's getting outside of your comfort zone, taking that step forward, going after that thing that you want, and then just being consistent about it. So, that's it. I titled this The Tortoise and the Hare, right? And the reason is because, I want you to really envision slow and steady wins the race. The fastest way to the finish line, to getting what you want, is actually the slow and long way. Slow and steady wins the race. And the more that we try to rush and speed things up and do things the way that we think that they should be done or the way we want them done, we're in this McDonald's world where we want everything 5 seconds ago, and if we gotta wait for it, we're gonna blow up. I mean, especially Americans, we have this terrible reputation in all these other countries because a lot of the other countries are a lot more laid back, and when we go and we visit our countries, we freak them out because if they're not right there to take our order and to get us our food, and if everything's not perfect, we're all over them. We're blowing up. I owned and operated my own restaurant for 10 years. I know all about, people and their expectations and working and dealing with them and managing them. And, and I'm not exempt from it. It's not like I just sat outside and judged. I'm right there with you, I wish that there was a quick, easy button that I could hit and everything was boom, the way I want it, the second I want it. But I'm here to tell you that's not it. That's not how it works. So, that's something I've learned with, my experience with trading is that, the more I rushed it, the worse I did. And finally, by listening to others and putting myself aside and listening to people that were doing what I wanted, and stepping, putting my ego down and so forth. That was when I finally started to kind of get ahead, and things went the way that I was hoping that they would go, but they didn't go in like lightning speed like I wanted, right? It all starts with that step forward and with patience. So anyways, that's my message for everybody. Again, I always do like to talk about my opportunity. I've been doing extremely well trading the Forex market. It's done a lot for me in my life as well with what I've gone through to become an experienced trader. If you've got more interest, please PM me, message me, and would love to talk with you more about it. But, regardless, I hope that, my messages reach you and speak to you, and hopefully move you forward in whatever direction that you're trying to go, and keep you from sitting still. But my word of advice for you today is that slow and steady wins the race. Okay, don't go out there trying to be the hare. Learn to be the happy tortoise, and you're gonna win the race in due time. So that's it. Have a great day, everyone. Talk to you. Bye.